trade. Wait, yeah. But otherwise, you know, I'm well known around the Onigiri community as Sublime Arrow. So, without further ado, I got another stream for you. Okay, got some more free time. You know what I mean? Got another stream for you. I might get interrupted by some family things, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna try to get this out there to you. I'm trying to do this guide right here a little bit earlier. It's gonna be part of my pro tips guide and my boss guide series as well. I'm gonna teach you guys the weaknesses of the two bosses for future reference and for reference as of current, you know. So if you guys don't know much about this event, I'm gonna break it down to you guys. I'm claiming some of the rewards from doing this event, but I'm gonna break down some of the things that people may be missing. Now, this event, I will start out by saying this event right now is broken for some people. Believe it or not, I had to find a way to unbug this event for myself. So I can give you a extra guide on how to, or different ways you could use to unbug the event, but as far as I know, I only know a couple of things that might work. But that's for another stream. That's for another video. But I am going to show you guys how to unlock the two dungeons and the item exchange. I'm gonna give you a guide to do so. But right now I'm claiming some of the items from doing the event myself. Got that energy restorative, some gacha tickets. And I literally only did hard like one time, and I only did hard to test it. But everything else, I've just been doing a bunch of hell runs. And honestly, for most of the stuff that you need in the event, you don't have to grind that hard for with the event dungeons alone. As you can see, I did one hard run for Lonely Island as well. And then the rest of this hell runs that I've been saying, you know, a bunch of hell runs. So I'm kind of battle tested. I would say all my methods are battle tested. I won't steer you wrong. This is only a guide to help. So if you have a better working method, you might be stronger than I, or you might have something that works better than what I have. And that's fine. But this is mainly for those people that want to find more information about these bosses and going forward, and therefore like to prepare for events like this and not just jump straight into them. Some people jump straight into them and learn that way. Some people like to prepare. I'm the type that, you know, I don't mind jumping straight in, but I'm also a guy that likes to prepare for the tasks at hand too, if I can help it. So that's why I went in and did those hard runs to find out their weaknesses. It didn't really help me, I'm not gonna lie to you. So the only way, because they're really easy to kill with just about any element, it doesn't really show much weakness for that boss in the hard mode, because it's so easy. If you have a lot of skill force, you can kill them easily on hard. So it's not that much of a challenge. But on the hell difficulty, they do have a lot more HP, and it takes a lot more element and skill force to kill them. So with that being said, you gotta find the right element boost to increase your attack power to match the requirement to kill them on hell. So that's why hell is better to test out all of your theories that you believe will help you in the event. Also, drop boosts really help with everything in this event. So all of that daily OC you can get a lot of daily OC just by logging in every day. Use that daily OC. You can either use it for like some roles, like free roles in the gacha, or I will also recommend getting all that you need by purchasing like the drop boost, for example, the 200% drop boost. It's for about 3 of them in the shopping plaza. I'm gonna show you. For about 3 of them in the shopping plaza, it's about 58 OC, and you can use free OC to get them too. So you just add them to the cart just like that, say put in cart, and then you will purchase it for those. That's how much OC it would take, and it includes free OC. It doesn't have to be OC that you paid for off of a card out of your pocket, you know. So yeah, just logging in and you can get those drop boosts that definitely help. I wouldn't recommend using a drop boost mainly for the mats that come from the event. I would say it mainly helps more for like some of the drop rates for crafting the mags that come from it, for crafting the weapons that come from it, things like that. And just in general for things that you're working on. Let me look around. Alright, but to get to this event, if it's not glitched, what you want to do is go to Onigashima. You want to talk to Akane. Akane is shown in pink, and her sister should be standing right beside her. I'm lagging a little bit. Whew, I am not frozen, goodness. But anyways, guess I gotta load all these guys in. Let me walk past them. Alright, so we're going into Onigashima. This is the lag city right here, no cap. This is the lag city right here. So be careful, don't just run straight through it. You gotta kind of tiptoe through so that the game picks up every single stall. And is able to load it in, because if not, if you just run it through, it's a lot of stalls, so it'll start lagging. And so right here is where the last event was. As you can see, Aoi is not here. But it's because I have the other event unlocked. But the person you want to talk to unlock this event is Akane. And you'll see a marker over her head to let you know that there's another event out. A lot, like again that I said in the beginning of this video. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, I had to unbug mine. It didn't work when I just walked up and talked to her. So it wasn't as easy doing it myself. It actually was at random that it worked for myself. So yeah, let me, somebody might be watching my stream. Somebody might be watching my stream, but anyway, let me go ahead and head over to the event area. Oh, these are going to play a big part in getting your hands on those mags. Now, do I agree with any of these prices? Not really. But, hey, if you're very, very lazy, this will help. This will definitely help. But yeah, so there's, after you talk to Akane, it's going to send you to 3 different dungeons. Right outside of Kikigahara, which is crossing that bridge going toward like Kumaso area. But all around in that area you'll find all 3 of the dungeons. You don't do the Lancelot quest versions of them, not the night quests. You want to do the normal versions of them. So for those of you that have unlocked the Lancelot night quest, you don't want to do those. You want to switch the tab to the normal dungeon, and I just do it on hell because it's just like it's easy either way for me. It doesn't really make a difference. And so after on completion of those 3 dungeons, it'll send you back to talk to Akane, I believe. After you talk to her, she'll tell you to go talk to this guy, which will unlock the festival grounds for the summer event. And so in doing so, after you unlock that, he'll allow you to go to the festival grounds. I'm gonna tell you what it'll tell you to do from here. And just to make it speed things up a little bit, I am gonna summon a mount in a second, just to speed things up a little bit. And I should do this on like a different alt. I'm probably gonna show you on another alt, the beginning of the event. Matter of fact, I think that's a better idea than showing you on one of my alts to do this event. But for now, I just wanted to get through this guides of helping. Yeah. I'm dead. Now the prices are going up for these Sky Fused. But anyways, let me prepare for the first guy. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare, and I'm gonna prepare to fight the first boss. Just like a lot of the other tasks or dungeons in the game, it's probably best to travel in groups to these dungeons, to take them on in a group. So whereas you know you have extra security, backup, different elements in the dungeon, got more versatility with the weapons, some ranging, some more ranged than others, so they take less damage. Meanwhile, some are close up and can inflict tons of damage. While others are tanks. So it's always better, I say, to travel in groups, but it's best to do it while you're prepared. And when you're soloed, it's even more important to be prepared. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna show you some of the items from the item exchange and the 2 dungeons that you will have to unlock. Okay, so from the item exchange, here's some of the goodies. Okay, so you'll see, for example, you have the weapon recipes that you can make. There's 2 versions to the weapon. There's the normal version, and then there's the Redux version. The Redux version is a minimum level of 125, while the normal is a minimum level of 50. So you can equip it right away. And if you could do these dungeons on hard, you should be able to equip this weapon right away. But yeah, so all of these are basically class likely. I actually want to see what the staff looks like, honestly, if I'm being honest. I think the staff look really cool. A lot of these designs, I will say this, a lot of these designs look great, except for the bow designs. I don't like the bow designs. Tell me in the comment section if you like the bow designs if you play this game. Tell me if you like these bow designs. I do not like the design at all, if I'm being completely honest. I'm getting it solely not for the design. Usually the design is like a plus, but it's for the attack power and the potential of the weapon. But the designs itself, yeah, I won't do it for the design. From the event, you can get some accessories. You get these are all the weapons that I was talking about. These are for the sunglasses. These should help you get a increased drop rate from the dungeon, so you should get a little bonus. And I want to test to see if they've given me this bonus. I don't know for sure. I don't know if this will give me a bonus or not for putting these accessories on, but just because I want to try them. Let's see, pink or orange. I don't know which one I want. Oh, pink or orange. Pink or orange. I think probably best to do like orange for me, if I'm being honest. I don't think I got a lot of pink stuff. I really don't. But orange I can pair with like this outfit I have. And also orange kind of goes hand in hand with red. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna get the orange ones. Actually, you know what? Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna get both. I'm gonna get both of them, just in case. Alright, and so those are the accessories. They say that the accessories usually kick in and give you a bonus amount of drops either in the dungeon or the reward up that should help you farm the event more efficiently. And this event is pretty efficient if you can run it on hell, which is why you want to break it down. Let me keep going down, but I already got these are the mag recipes, and the mag is pretty, it's actually the 125 mag is very, very good, but it's also equivalent to, if not better than the Tempest itself, for skill force alone. So that's saying something right there. Also it gives you a nice boost for 3 different elements, which really helps out as well, or bring its worth up to grind for. But I'll show you what those mags would do for your player if you were to acquire them or to work toward them. And I'll show you exactly what you need for them, which you should see a lot of in these stalls, so don't worry about it. XP tickets might help a lot, especially with if you have like an assist character or something. I don't mind. But it's a pretty decent event. Like I said, to get a lot of these mats, it's really not that hard to get your hands on the mats. It's really not hard. I don't even think you can get the flower bud of Cool Breeze anymore. I don't even think you can get these items anymore. But let me know if I'm wrong. But I do know you can get all of the items, I think, after Soul Egg, I think. Or Yeah, after a soul egg, you can get all of these items on down for sure. Anything with ocean breeze and twin stone ore, you can definitely get. And I can get all of these with 900 and 1,500 of this. So it's basically like 14 runs and 8 runs. It gives you like 100, almost 120 each run. And that's without having anything. That's just with upon completion of the dungeon, so that's really cool. Tentacles here. Get all the tentacles. The tentacles aren't really that hard. For me, I would say the most difficult is getting these high grades. So getting these high grades is gonna help. Say getting the high grades is difficult. Actually, a lot of this is not difficult in means, but it's a farm, I'd say. It's a bit of a farm. If you want the 125 weapon, it's a farm. And what I'm gonna go for here first is, let me see what this costs. It's not that bad. And then let me see what the high grades cost. It's probably a lot for the high grades, because it's 30, they're giving me 30 of them. Okay, so 600 oceans, that's fine. I could do 600 oceans, I don't mind. And who is Yato? Yato-san. Somebody wants the DPS battle. I wonder why though. I don't know who Yato's. I think I know who Yato's. I've definitely seen that name before, but I don't know where they are or where they went to. I mean, I'm decent, and I can be very strong. I'm about to get this rev though. That should give me some more attack power. And like, if you're not good, if you know you can't handle the boss, I would try to at least try to boss for yourself. If you can't handle the boss, there are people that are running the dungeons like these guys. They're, you know, they don't mind you running with them. Like I said, it's best for security if you run with other people. But for me personally, using the drop boost isn't gonna help that much, so I don't care too much for using the drop boost in this event. It's just in the means of knowing what you're doing so that your runs are efficient. Now, to prepare for this first boss, which I'm not gonna run Lonely at first. I'm gonna run the Crag Island. Crag Island has a different boss than the Lonely Island. Well, I'm gonna say Crag Forest. I'm gonna take the island out. I'm gonna say Crag Forest and Lonely Island. This is what I'm gonna call the two. So I'm gonna go ahead and solo the two and show you what I think of them. Let's see. I found the first boss very weak to rain, very weak to fire, and I'm gonna do 2 tests. As you've seen, I needed like 600 of those ocean breeze drops, and I only have like 400 anyway, so that's like 2 runs. And with 2 runs, I should have 600, so I can go get those silks anyway, which I want to make this next weapon. It'll help me out a lot. But let's go ahead and switch equipment. Let me see what I got on now. Okay, so I got on my rain. It's like a rain lineup, just about. I use these other 2 L-Sins for attack power, and because they can clear rooms pretty quick. I only got 240 rain element right now, but I'm gonna change that in a second. Let me see, I'm gonna switch out this 1 L-Sin I want to switch out for nice guy. No, I'm gonna switch it out for my rainwater. And I'm going to take off my lightning and put on one of my Leviathan, which gives me more rain element. So it max out my rain element, pretty much. As you can see, with holding the rhyme in my hand, I have about 250 now from 240. Not a huge jump, but it does make a difference. But you can also see that any boss that deals a lot of fire damage will more than likely destroy me if I'm not careful. I got a little bit of ice from the Spring Dawn Kenshin, so that's 30 on top of the 60 I think I get from the rhyme. Yeah, so it's the 60 ice element from the rhyme plus the 30 from this accessory that gives me 90 ice element, so that really helps. With those mags, I think I get a lot more ice element, so my ice will do a lot more damage, and that will help me out a lot, especially if I put on like 2 Spring Dawn Kenshins, which will give me a total of an extra 60 ice element. And then if I hold my rhyme in my hand, that'll help out a lot. Or an abyss weapon is really good for ice. Another good weapon is the Typhoon weapon. Typhoon weapon can be pretty good for ice. But yeah, so on and so forth. But let's just get into this. I always bring a first aid staff in with me. Yes, I do have to finish maxing this staff out so that it does more healing. And it really does help that I got these silhouettes, which give me a lot of skill force for the staff as well. As you can see, I do a lot of healing. And it takes like, if I can go from like no health just about to full health with 3 of these first aids, and then I just kind of spam it. And it's just to heal myself so that I don't, I know I'm a liability for HP sometimes when I'm not careful, but that just helps me out. Alright, also I'm gonna bring in one of my vanguards. Let's see who I'm gonna bring. No, Venus is really good, and Sadatobi Sasuke should be pretty good too, but she runs out quick, I would say, because I don't have a lot of scrolls for her. As you can see, I could only use it for like 45 seconds. But I think Venus will be a better test for me, because I could at least hold her out for about a minute. So she's gonna be a better test for me, so I can show you. Alright, let's go inside this dungeon. We need to see some action. I've done enough talking already. I'm gonna let, before I start, I'm gonna let them know I'm streaming. Alright, so we want to go to Crag Forest. We ain't gonna do this on hell. The boss has a lot of, well, these bosses have some odd weaknesses. Some of them make sense and some of them don't. I'm gonna kind of explain the 2 bosses to you guys while I'm fighting them. One's weakness never changes, while the other just like varies from run to run. It's kind of weird. So what I'm doing now is I'm about to use this icicle punishment to help me clear rooms. I'm trying to aggro the mobs in the dungeon to follow me. It's like they're not even paying attention. Well, icicle punishment 7, I've been using that to level up. And you want to hit like huge groups is what I heard. I just started using this skill, so I'm not too experienced with it. But from what I know, it's more useful hitting groups of mobs, not just one mob or one boss, I would say. And that might be, it might be more helpful to do it that way to level it up as well. But bosses, it might work perfectly fine. It's just that this has been recommended to me to use groups of mobs to level it up, I'd say. That's all here. And you could easily like get through dungeons just using strategies like this and training up the mobs and then just using one blow of a skill like icicle punishment and just destroying them. It's a very good skill, I believe, for, I think it's even better for probably builds with a lot of SP or builds that can spam and that are already used to hitting groups of targets for collateral damage, such as Odachi and Axe. It's probably very helpful. Let me see, this Elsin helps me hit groups too, which I don't mind. And it also has really good range, so I can hit them from the distance. Not really trying to do a speed run or anything. I haven't done too many tests on this boss, and I could run some more tests to figure it out. But there's so many different things that can kill this boss. It's like I don't even have to run through all my tests. There's so many ways you can kill this boss. But fire works, rain works, wind works. All three of those elements help. I've never seen ice to help with this boss. I'm pretty sure holy might help a bit. I know that what's that skill? I know that mountain helps with this boss as well, so anything that has a lot of mountain should be able to kill this boss as well. So take note of these different elements. If you specialize in mountain, if you specialize in rain, if you specialize in fire, if you specialize in wind, all of these different skills should help you a lot. I've never tested poison. I've never really seen it to be weak to dark or anything else. I might be wrong because I haven't done too many tests, and that's why I'm only giving you the ones that I've confirmed to be the weakness, or to be its weakness. So those are the only ones I've confirmed to be its weakness. Lucky box. You see how many lucky boxes I got? When I hit 150, I'm gonna do like a lucky box opening. Or should I say even more? Like, I don't know. Lately, I've been doing a lot of farming. So, I've been saving up all my lucky boxes because, like, why not? I like the range of the Exorcist arrows. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch into my rhyme, which I'm gonna be using, I believe, the Aqua Needles for Lady Shizuka. Did I switch her skills? Let me look. Well, Venus rather. I did switch her skills. I switched them. So I'm trying to replenish the skills. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch her skills right now before I switch her. Go ahead and put them. I always use either the aqua needles or these lamentos, which is wind. Both seem to be the best. I know she boosts a lot of holy as well, so she's got some really good holy skills too. So anything weak to holy, she can destroy. She's more like holy and wind. Not so much as rain, but I got so much rain element, it just boosts her rain element, and she already does a lot of damage, so it really helps. A lot of people don't use her aqua needles, but if you have Venus, trust me, if you have enough rain element, her aqua needles do a lot of damage. I actually deal at least about 85% of EB's HP on hard with her. So the rest of the HP, the other 15% of his HP, I can literally drill him with my rhyme, or I could use like, or if someone else is running with me and they have another Vanguard with wind or rain, they can literally just finish him off from there. But Venus destroys him. So I'm gonna show you what Venus can do to this clock with her rain capabilities. Now, because Venus is rain and the clock is ice, the clock can literally freeze you if you're not careful. And you see that she's killing them pretty quick, and she can keep her distance. But I'm going to show you what happens if you do not move out the way. You take a couple hits and you get frozen and you're vulnerable. But other than that, you should be fine. I didn't mean to do that. As you see, Holy's not too bad either. And she's easy. This clock, believe it or not, well, this mirror rather, believe it or not, is it attacks very similar to E-Beast. E-Beast attacks pretty much the same way. So he kind of, but his is more overpowered. So say for instance, if I get stunned by E-Beast, if I'm not careful, he just might take me out. If I don't have somebody else in the dungeon to support Venus while she's getting attacked, you know, that 85% of damage that she can deal could be less because she might get destroyed. And I literally only have 60 seconds with her, as opposed to if I have more scrolls. As you can see from that one run, I never equipped the accessory or the sunglasses. I'm gonna equip it to see if there's a difference, but from that one run I got like 119 ocean breeze mats just from running it on hell. And you seen the damage that I was able to deal with my rain. I'm gonna show you what I can deal with fire. And by all means, I'm not even close. My fire is not even close to my rain, so it's about 140 element off from the amount of rain that I possess now. The amount of rain element I can possess. So yeah, let me go ahead and switch over to my other stuff and show you what fire can do. It's a little glitchy here. And I do have to finish maxing out my earth, which I'll get to in a moment. Probably after I stream or whenever I'm done. I'm gonna put on, I usually put on these Akanes, which really help out. I do want to put on accessories, however. I really do. But I'll probably test it when I'm running with others. But for right now, I just wanted to show you with this, with as much fire element as I can muster up. I gotta take the silhouettes off. Silhouettes are good for rain, but they are very negative in fire, so you don't want to have these on. I did originally have a Mekon mag. I gotta farm for another Mekon or get my hands on another Mekon, which I don't mind. But let me go ahead and put on these views. Well, actually, I'm gonna put this as the Taika. What the Taika does is it gives you plus 17 fire element and doesn't take up much chakra, so it helps. And I'm gonna put on 3 fuse. But before I didn't have this Taika, I would put on my Mekon mag. For some reason, I feel like I gave away my Mekon mag on accident. Let me, I don't know if Akane would be a good choice. She probably would. She possesses a lot of fire. And I could use her. I got the 3 scroll. But Venus, I mean not Venus, Kiden does a lot too. And I'm gonna show you. I like using Kiden. Kiden is really good against the clock. You can also use Hound Dog. I will give you this pro tip here. You can use Hound Dog if you have them. He is a mount for those that don't know. I'll show you who he is. If you have Hound Dog, I have him maxed out right now. He's got 93 light, which is pretty much all initiative, I believe, and everything else is his stats. We've gotten all his scrolls from the Hound Dog event, but he's very helpful. He's majority wind, and he can tank a lot. So anything weak to wind, normally he can help you out with, but it just depends on what you're up against. But he really helps out. But to show you other things, these are other things I'm using to help me out. I'm just exposing the weaknesses of Crag Forest for you guys. I'm not really very big on wind right now. I don't have many wind skills, so although I do have a decent amount of wind element that I can get, yeah, I would say if you have the mount, the more it'd be easier, a lot easier, more effective to use the mount if you have the mount. But there's so many different tools that can get you by this dungeon. This is not the one. that really needs too much that I barely need to spend time on this one. It's literally the other dungeon that'll give you the most trouble, if any trouble. And even that one is not the hardest. It's really not the hardest. What? Something dropped. Oh, that's it. And these are all skills that I got that I'm just trying to level up from the past event. And I just love how the skills that you got from that last event you can just kind of spam. And they got pretty decent attack and usually one-hit mobs. So you can kind of level them up. You see keyed in. My keyed in is like 2 scroll. I would say any Vanguard or mount that you have is more helpful than just running it yourself. But some people have so much element. Like I could have easily soloed the clock. No, not gonna lie to you. I could have soloed the clock just off of my element and the amount of skill force I had with the silhouettes by myself, but it just seems to be a little bit faster when I use like my other tools, which being the Vanguard and stuff. Yes, I totally agree. But right now they really help out. Honestly, I'm like I use them mainly for those things that I do lack. Like for instance, I may be very strong in rain, but I lack a bit in the fire department, and I lack a lot in the wind department. So all those other things, I have these mounts that could possibly help me out a little bit with, until I get stronger with these mags and things of that nature from the events. So I just utilize them. At first, when I started playing this game, I was really against using mounts. Even to this day, well, not just mounts, but Vanguards in general, I always believe that it's always better to try to solo it and do it alone, or with the team rather, like do it like straight DPS and not have to depend on a Vanguard or a mount to help you. But the way this game is set up, some people are more lucky than others, so that's just how I go about clearing things until I get stronger. And knowing myself, I know that I will get stronger. So it's just a setback for me, I would say, and it helps. Just getting my hands on like what I need to get stronger. If it means, you know, I have to use some mount, you know, or use a Vanguard to get items to help me get stronger so I don't have to depend on them as much, that's fine by me. Yeah, I do the same thing. Wand is actually a very gifted build, because Wand kind of has a little bit of everything, although it's very dependent on all those different elements, because it doesn't have as much HP as anything else in the game if you build or if you put in those stats correctly. I've never seen a tanky wand user. I kid you not, I've never seen a tanky wand user. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I should never see one, So yeah, like wand and staff, twin sword, those guys have a lot of different elements. I'm kind of happy I went with bow though. The only thing that I really don't have that other builds have, I would say I don't have a variety in like wind skills. I got this tornado shots on my Zenith, but I missed the Zunko event, so that's where Hound Dog kind of comes in and helps me. That's where my Vanguard Venus with her wind comes and helps me. Who else do I have? I have a couple others, but it just helps me that way. I don't have, though, if I had like Zunko skills, then I would definitely, let me switch to my Nova. That's a bet. I wonder how they got it to work. Cause me, if you would have asked me, I would have no clue. I didn't mean to do that. And so somebody else will have more fire than myself. And when you're doing these big buffs, you want to definitely use like high potions and things of that nature to your advantage. They really help. I got frozen again. That's crazy. But I could use her a lot longer than I can use Venus, so it doesn't bother me. Alright, see what I can do DPS wise. As you see, I do not do a lot of fire. And I don't know how some of these hits are not registering. No, I don't mind. So let me see if I can get Keaton up some more. As you see, I do some damage to get rid of the boss. But this is the reverse element. Like, this is completely opposite element of what I've been building. So it doesn't bother me much. See how much damage I can deal with. That's crazy. It's a decent amount of range. Sometimes I think the game doesn't register things correctly. Cause like, sometimes I find like even when I prepare for something, it seems like I have no wind element at all. And it just doesn't make sense. And like, I know I just put like this much wind on. So, should be doing this much. Alright. I never really tested lightning. Why lightning is doing a lot. Oh my god. It's like lightning on lightning, so it's like... But I think this skill is like fire and lightning, so it'll probably shred the health more. I don't know. And it keeps doing that too, it's just retarded. Why does it keep doing that? The mirror is like, it's like it recognizes exactly what I'm doing. You see it? It's crazy. This is retarded. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if this happens to other people. It's freaking retarded though. But anyway, let me go ahead and use this buff and get this over with. That came out of nowhere. But see, it's taking me 1,000 years longer. Although I don't die, it's taking me 1,000 years longer to kill him. When I'm not using the right element. I missed him. I just almost got that last shot off. Got me. This is annoying. This is so annoying. I'm telling you. You guys just don't understand. It's like, it has like literally no health. But with this Blade Sanction being like both pierce and fire, it should do a lot of damage to this guy. Even when this earth isn't maxed out. Takes forever, right? Now, by any means, I'm not saying that rain does better than the fire. It's just that I'm much better with rain, which will make more sense. I also found a wind to be a weakness for this boss. But every day, it seems like they're changing more and more things about the dungeon, so I guess they want it to be not so repetitive. So from day in and day out, I have to constantly fight these guys to make sure that everything's still up to date. They might change things up. Like with the Golem, for example. I fought the Golem the first 3 days of the event, And the Golem literally, and the Golem is from the other one. And the Golem is literally from the other event. Let me see, what is more helpful for the Golem? I found, well, let me switch back to my silhouettes. Only recently the Golem has started dying to my rain element for some odd reason. So I'm gonna switch back to my rain and I'm gonna run the Lonely Island instead. Well, actually, never mind. I'm not gonna do that yet. But I'm still switch back to my rain to get ready for Lonely Island. And I change up my material. And for my third weapon, I usually bring in like a night sky, or I might bring in a zenith. Just for my third weapon. Probably use icicle punishment on this thing. And switch all my equipment. This is kind of how I prepare for the dungeons. I feel like I have more than one Leviathan though. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I swear I had like more. I'm pretty sure I had at least like 117 fire element just now. And it took me that long to kill the boss with my fire. And Keaton is too scrolled, and I buffed her too when I was attacking, which really didn't help much. It helped to damage, but it didn't do enough. It wasn't significant enough to make the run any faster. But yeah, so no. Before damn it, I went in. But anyway, I'm gonna pull out my mount to show you guys what this mount can do. Now it doesn't matter when it comes to the mounts, it doesn't matter, because with the Vanguards it helps to have a weapon of that same element, or the element that you're going to be using. Have the element to match the skills that you're going to be using from the Vanguard to the boss. To kill the boss basically. But with the mounts, it doesn't necessarily matter. You switch into the mounts usually deal the same amount of damage, so it doesn't matter. See, I'm gonna grab this Hound Dog, and so it won't take any of his stamina if he's just killing alongside you, which is really cool, and he still does a lot of damage with him being maxed. But everything else in the dungeon, I'm gonna actually use my icicle punishment to kill other things in the dungeon. And usually my silhouettes help with the cooldown cut that I have. For some reason, it doesn't work all the time, but it helps some of the times. but I'm just gonna show you how OP this mount can be. It's like little to no effort to kill the boss with this mount. And with people being that dependent on mounts, it's pretty sad, and I don't want to really be one of those people, so I always strive to get better items. I always grind to get stronger. And that's always been me. At some point, that's why I don't have Izuna or Ganai to begin with, because if I told myself, I was like, if I'm gonna get a mount, I might as well get something that's freaking overpowered or something. If I'm gonna go for a mount, or if I want to go for a Vanguard or something, I might as well get something that's OP. I feel like I'm missing one. No, I'm not. Alright, so I want to display some of the power from this mount. You can either use Tempest or Chakram. And as you can see, Izuna does help. But this guy just destroys this. Look at how much stamina I have. And just hits caps on this thing. Well, let me use Tempest. Keep running. But yeah, so that run wasn't bad at all. Clear time, it says, was 5 minutes 45 seconds, but they include like the loading screens. The loading screens takes at least an additional like 30 to 40 seconds. This is ridiculous. There was at least like 2 loading screens, so. Hound Dog is strictly fire and wind. He has a little bit of slice, and then skills. He also has a little bit of impact in some of his skills, but the guy's mainly wind and a little bit of fire. So with that, he's a huge help. I would be very strong in wind. However, like I said before, I missed the Zunko event. I don't have any of the Zunko skills or Zunda arrows, Zunda hyper arrows. I don't have the Oogis nor the skills, which are definitely more effective, cooler looking, and more powerful than the tornado shots that have succumbed to use. But yeah, let's go into this next. Let's go into what, Lonely Island? Yeah, let's go to Lonely Island. I'm gonna go ahead and switch my Vanguard, and I don't mean to look under people's dress right now. Like my controllers, the right stick on my controller is retarded. And it doesn't stay. Yeah, let me use these aqua needles again. Let me make sure I have these aqua needles on Venus. I do. Okay. And so with that, that should work. Now the Golem, like I said, is very interesting. I've never, all the tests that I've run with the Vanguards all point towards the Golem being either soul or monster, but I never, even with all of my tests, I've never really confirmed whether he's either or. So I don't even know if the Golem actually has a nature. And so with that being said, recently I've tested things and weaknesses with the Golem, and it seems as though, like from my last run, I could definitely say that rain is effective, which is my specialty. I could definitely say rain is effective. But for everything, I would say you could bring ice, you can bring rain, you can bring wind, you can bring fire. I think also, is it Pierce or I think Impact is really good. I've never seen Dark to do anything. I think Lightning does a little bit. I think Lightning isn't that bad against him. Lightning might be an element you might want to try. Holy doesn't do too much, but it's not the worst skill to use against him either. So you could give Holy a try too. Dark, I wouldn't try Dark. I'm gonna wait till the next room. I'm gonna use like these icicle punishments. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's cool. This cooldown seems like it's a bit slower too. Versus when I'm like in one of the other dungeons. I don't know. I guess it's the dungeons itself. They don't allow you to spam like a normal dungeon. Since it's like an event dungeon or something. But I definitely notice a difference. I'm finally... Alright, there's one bag over there. Portal's open. Me hopping with Hound Dog because he's faster than me. There's one right there. Alright, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Let's hop in the portal. But literally, I can use Hound Dog I always bring Hound Dog into this dungeon for backup, just in case this golem decides to switch natures or switch weaknesses. It's almost like this guy literally switches his weakness every other run. Like, one dungeon, rain will be effective, the next it won't, and it'll be wind that's effective. The next it'll be fire that's effective. The next it'll be ice that's effective. And I've never really figured the golem out. But one thing I can say is that his ultimate weakness I've seen to be is not necessarily wind, but mounts in general. It's kind of weird. But I will say Hound Dog is like his kryptonite. Like, Hound Dog destroys him. And I remember seeing someone use their own wind skills. I've actually used Venus's wind skills with boosted wind element accessories for myself to make her attack power even better, or even greater rather, and it literally still did nothing to the boss. Whereas recently the aqua needles I use with Venus has been killing him. So it's like, I don't know how to pinpoint the weakness of this golem guy. I actually don't know myself. But with all of the runs that I have under my belt, I probably did at least, at this point, about 15 to 20 different hell runs of this event. And the weakness is I kind of seen a weakness, but it's like, it's kind of iffy. Alright, so I'm gonna show you what Venus can do. What the heck? I just got stunned out of nowhere. Come on. All these little guys are in the way. I gotta be careful. I don't want to get stunned. I only got like 60 seconds. As you see, I didn't mean to do that move, and Holy's not doing anything. Rain is helping though, however. Yeah, I don't mind. Let's see. I'm gonna try this icicle punishment, which should just be ice element. I only have like 90 ice element right now, and as you can see, it kind of wrecks them. So ice is effective, rain is effective, so those can work. And that's just to prove that he is somewhat weak to those elements. And I swear they just changed it, because I remember the first 3 days of the event, I literally was using my rain, and I have a 250 rain element, and I was literally doing nothing. Nothing was registering to them. But now it's different. No!